The Greens are calling for federal government intervention to ban sand mining on Stradbroke Island immediately. They say the state government has let down the people of Queensland by using a loophole to allow mining to continue for another 17 years.
They launched their campaign yesterday. Today, the Greens were trying to ensure the end of sand mining on Stradbroke Island in Moreton Bay.
We want to see the laws that were used to protect Fraser Island used to protect Stradbroke. They were taken off our statute books. We want to put them back on.
The Greens Senate candidate is an environmental lawyer, and she'd pushed for amendments to federal customs regulations, so a special licence was needed to export the minerals from the island's sand mines. Larissa says the Howard government took those powers away more than 10 years ago.
The Greens would like to see them restored so that the federal government can play the proper role it should play in protecting our environment when the state government fails to do so.
We welcome their points of view. They can come to the table and sit down with us, but at the end of the day, North Stradbroke Island will be a national park. 50% by the end of next year.
Last month, Anna Bligh announced that mining on Stradbroke Island would be phased out over the next 17 years.
The minerals are due to run out in 2027, and that is the date on which Anna Bligh says that she will stop the mining. Now, this means that the mining company are getting exactly what they want.
If mining was to stop on this island, the local economy would take a hit and almost 300 people would lose their jobs. But the Greens argued that most of those could be redeployed to revegetate the island to its former state. The state government wants more nature-based tourism on the island, creating more jobs. Inya Bjornsson, ABC News, Stradbroke Island.
The mining industry has caused dramatic environmental impacts on North Stradbroke Island. Here you can see the scars from past and present sand mines. Many people, including local Aborigines and environmental groups, oppose sand mining as it interferes with Indigenous sacred land and damages natural habitats for animals. Recently, the Queensland government promised that sand mining will finish in the year 2017. Large storms and infrequent tropical cyclones alter the beaches dramatically. As global temperatures rise, the likelihood of a tropical cyclone hitting the Gold Coast increases. The last major cyclone to hit the coast was in 1967. The Gold Coast City Council have spent tens of millions of dollars each year to protect its beaches from erosion by building groins, rock armour and beach renourishment. This is the Gold Coast Seaway. Alongside the southern groin is a sand bypass system that continually pumps sand on the Gold Coast beaches. Another sand bypass system is located near the estuary of the Tweed River, about 40 kilometres south of the Gold Coast Seaway. Not everybody, in particular surfers, are happy with beach renourishment.
Of a campaign to save Carew Point say the renowned Gold Coast surfing beach is fast losing its international reputation. The surfers say the break has been ruined by tons of sand pumped to the area as part of a project to prevent beach erosion.
Carew Point used to be regarded as Australia's most perfect wave and, according to a 1998 International Surfers poll, one of the top 5 surf spots in the world.
Go cruise and get barreled and have some fun. Can't wait.
Not anymore. Since the Tweed River Sand Bypass project was introduced to prevent beach erosion 7 years ago, Carew Point gradually disappeared.
They've tried to make up for 30 years of beach erosion by just pumping nilly-willy like there's no tomorrow. Nobody was checking the reefs, no one was checking the surfing amenity or the beach amenity. They thought, oh great, sand everywhere.
But it's not just the surfers who've lost their perfect playground. Families are now bypassing the famous southern beach simply because of the distance factor from the car park to the water.
The Surf Lifesaving Club has lost more than $6 million in as many years.
Less people on the beach means less people in the club. Less people in the club having food and drinks means less financial support we can give to the people out there on the weekends.
There are no signs that the pumping is about to end. It's managed by a private company which has a contract until 2024.
Well, for years we have been asking for better management of the project. That hasn't happened. We've asked for flexibility in the grid where the sand is pumped. That hasn't happened.
Organisers of a protest against the sand pumping are hoping for plenty of support when they paddle out tomorrow morning. Glenn Palmer, ABC News.
Defence against beach erosion is a significant issue because as one part of a coastline is protected, another part is affected. High-rise buildings on the Gold Coast have also added to the problem because they behave like seawalls. When storms and subsequent beach erosion are severe, the sand cannot fix itself to concrete. This makes erosion worse. Other defences include groins and rock armour. Groins stop sand from being eroded away by longshore drift. There are not many groins on this coast anymore because they have starved other beaches from sand. Rock armour is placed around the bases of cliffs. Wave energy is absorbed as they break onto the rocks and stops cliffs from eroding. Much of the sand supply comes from the weathering of these rocks. Slowing the erosion can lead to long-term beach erosion. Coastal defences are an important part of coastal management, and the tourist industry is a direct beneficiary. It does cost a lot of money though. These coasts are dynamic because what has taken over 30 million years to make has changed dramatically over the last 50 years by human activity. Southeast Queensland is urbanising rapidly, the most rapid urban growth in Australia today. As population grows, there is more demand on local resources and the natural landscape changes even more, especially along the coast. Taxpayers in particular have to pay for coastal management and its beaches. Beach erosion cannot be stopped entirely, and there's much political debate about the costs and benefits of coastal defences. Southeast Queensland still attracts tourists from all over the world and will do so, especially if it retains its natural beauty.